The worst year for aviation sector. The year 2020 has hit almost every sector across the globe. But there are a few segments which have been hit so badly that a revival would take years. The aviation industry is one that has been hit extremely bad in 2020, the worst ever in history. According to the International Air Transport Association IATA, the industry as a whole has incurred a net loss of nearly 120 billion US dollar in 2020. This is despite massive cost cutting implemented across the board. IATA's Director General Alexander D. Juniak feels that despite cutting costs by 45%, revenues were down by 60% last year. IATA represents nearly 290 airlines comprising more than 80% of the global air traffic, and according to IATA, against a revenue of 838 billion US dollars in 2019, the revenue earned by airlines in 2020 stood at 328 billion dollars. While the cost of operating was at 795 billion dollars in 2019, the extensive cost cutting measures helped it limit at 430 billion dollars in 2020. The passenger numbers also witnessed a massive drop from 4.5 billion in 2019 to 1.8 billion in 2020, down by more than 60%. Though a slight improvement is on cards, the industry is likely to suffer deep losses in 2021 also. Predictions put a loss of about $40 billion in the year 2021. IATA is hopeful that the financial performance should be much better in 2021, kickstarting a revival. But with more flights in operation and things attaining normalcy, there ought to be an increase in the cost part. So, with not much of a big boost in revenues, but with an increase in operating costs, would witness a weak financial scenario during the first half of 2021. However, the number of passengers are expected to scale up massively in the second half of the calendar year. Though it is unlikely to touch the 2019 levels, which was 4.5 billion, the numbers could touch around 3 billion, two-thirds of the 2019 levels. But the new mutated virus found in UK might play spoil spot all again, toppling the expectations for a revival. Come what may, the industry is expected to start climbing back by the end of 2021. The year 2023 could witness a repeat 2019 in passenger numbers, revenue increase and net profits. The year 2024 would be a golden year for the aviation sector, and it would see its best ever year in aviation history. The International Civil Aviation Organization says the aviation industry is expanding rapidly but for the COVID-19 holdover. An estimate suggests that the demand for air transport would increase by 4.3% per annum for the next 20 years. Though the percentage of growth might vary, a quantum jump in growth is expected in passenger traffic as well as cargo movement via air. IATA predicts doubling of the air passenger by 2037 at 8.2 billion. While China will displace the US to come on top in the aviation market very soon, India will come third behind the US by 2024-25. The Asia Pacific region would grow with India emerging as a big player in the aviation segment to occupy a third position. Please subscribe the channel. Also, click the bell button to get the latest updates.